first gear. Whoa! Oh my god! Oh my... This thing bloody flies now! What's up guys? So today we're revisiting one of the cars that I loved when I started this channel. This is a 1999 MX5. So when this first came to the channel it was supercharged and it was one of the first MX5s I'd ever driven, and with a supercharger on it I fell in love. Perfect little skid car, perfect little bit of B-road bashing, but in the pursuit of power Matt thought, well, the supercharger is good, don't get me wrong, but he wanted more. He wanted more from the car and from the engine. So he opted to remove the supercharger and go for a turbo. Now this is something I'm very, very interested in doing because the whole supercharger versus turbocharged dispute goes on and on through these cars. So from the drive of that car to the drive of this car, well, obviously the supercharger, your power's there, it's ready to go. Whereas this, you know, you've got a build of boost, but if I'm honest, I prefer the build of boost. It's just more exciting to me. I love the sound of the supercharger, and I love that in low revs, it comes in and you're having a good laugh from square one. But unlike a supercharger, the build of boost means that you can't sort of select second gear and hold on for dear life, my God. Under load, this car squats now and absolutely shoots off. Oh, it makes a beautiful sound. Now this car as a base car, it's probably one of the best MX-5s to start with. It's an RS model, so you've got a 6-speed manual transmission, you've got a Torsen LSD as standard. So if you're going to start with, you know, an MX-5, you want it to be probably the best one that you can get your hands on, and I think this has to be it, to be honest. Now the car's still running the same management as it was when it was supercharged. Wow. Oh my God. This car absolutely rockets now. Oh my Jesus. The delivery of power is insane in it now. You fight the back a little bit. Oh yes, this car now absolutely sings to you through the B-road. Driving is all about. A little squirrel from the back end as it's on boost, the lightweight feel of the MX5 chassis, the towing, oh, unbelievable, absolutely beautiful car, exquisite drive. The fact that these are poised and lightweight as standard, and you put this sort of power through it, this is running, you know, 225 brake horsepower at the wheels now. It's so good. I absolutely am in love with cars like this. The cars that really make you go, wow, this is such a good little car. It's so refined in here still as well. You know, you've got the power, you've got, you know, all of the creature comforts you could want. Little first gear. Whoa! Oh my God. Oh my, this thing bloody flies now. What an exhilarating experience this car is. So we'll have a little roll on from second gear, 3,000 revs, boost at 4. Woo! Spins up into third. Oh wow, this thing is so fast now. Honestly, the supercharger was quick, don't get me wrong, but that little bit more, the build of boost, and when you unleash it, my God, it goes. Aside from the turbocharger, there's been a couple of other modifications that have been done to this car since I last stepped foot in it. This includes these VX220 VX220 seats, which, although, you know, no padding, don't get me wrong, they're very supportive and they've got a great feel. You know, you're really in the seat when you're driving the car. What I love the most about these little cars is, you know, the little mods, like you put a nice steering wheel on it, the short ratio between gears, so fourth into fifth, so close, but that turbo, I tell ya, you grab it by the balls. I love a good MX-5, me. I'm about the MX-5 life. The thing is, this one takes the crown for me. It did last time with the Supercharger, and now with the turbo on it. Perfection, absolute perfection. So guys, here we are. The sun is just going down behind me there. Now I will put a link at the top of the video now to the original video of this car, going really more in depth with, you know, the bits and bobs that it had on it at the time. But I'll just point out what we've got on it now since the last time I was with this car. Now this is a standard MX-5, is probably one of the best ones you can buy. It's an RS with a 6-speed manual transmission, the Torsen 3.9 LSD in the rear. Now when this is supercharged, it was running around 170 brake horsepower to the rear wheels. Now it is running 225 with the turbocharger, running 10 psi. You've got the APR carbon fiber mirrors, which I'm a big fan of. I like the look of those carbon mirrors. This now has a hard top as well, a Mazda Racing lightweight hard top. Coming around the back, you've got, yeah, you guessed it, there's a Droop. Oh dear, custom Droop work. It's also got a bumper cut at the back of the car. The white really pops with this shape MX-5 in my opinion. Coming inside the car, these VX220 seats, big fan of those. Although, you know, very supportive, quite comfy down here, don't get me wrong. There's not a lot of padding up here, so if you did have a dodgy back like myself, then this might not be the best option for you, but I do really like them. They do a fantastic job in this little car, and as you can see, the interior is absolutely mint condition. Everything is, you know, fitted and finished very well. And coming into the center, there's a Gizmo boost controller now, and coming under the engine bay, we now have a IHI VF28 ball bearing turbo from a Subaru Impreza Type R. We have a Ram Air feed. Going off of the turbo, this has a BlackCat Fabrications Manifold, Downpipe and oil feed return. Custom intercooler pipework, Mishimoto 13-row oil cooler, and a HKS SSQV dump valve. Loving the colour of the top of the engine now as well. But this setup, very neat and tidy, relatively easy, you know, with custom pipework and stuff, don't get me wrong. It does take someone that knows what they're talking about with, you know, the turbo sort of stuff to, you know, knock up the custom pipework for this. But yeah, I think this gives a good insight into if you have an MX-5 and you either want to supercharge it or turbo it, the pros and cons between the two. But I think for me, and this is just a personal thing, just by driving this car in comparison to the Supercharger, I can completely understand why you would turbo instead of supercharge. Supercharger is very easy, bolt on and drive away. This, bit more complex, bit more custom work, but you can definitely feel this car is more alive and a lot more fun on the road, and especially down a B road. You know, it's light on its feet, but it's got the power to back it up as well, and I love that. I love the fact that this is how these are. So yeah, for me personally, I'd always go turbo with these. You know, I fell in love with the Supercharger noise, but you can't argue the fact that when this goes, when it squats, when it boosts, it's absolutely next level. What are you doing, idiot? He's on the phone. God, they're all nightmares around here, bloody hell. So what are my overall thoughts on this car? Well, obviously Supercharger versus Turbocharger, there is a million different things you could say about each car. You know, this is a completely different car to the last one that I drove. It's a lot more of a, you know, tail happy, have a laugh, grab it by the scruff of the throat. And, you know, when the boost is full and, you know, you're holding on for dear life, you bloody know about it, I tell you. It's a completely different experience from the, you know, first one that I drove. That's the thing. Just going from a supercharger to a turbocharger, the difference in brake horsepower and the difference in the way the boost comes in is absolutely phenomenal. I'm a big believer in having a laugh in these small little cars, and I think now this is the one. This is the one that takes the crown for me. Turbocharged, rear wheel drive, soft top, you know, for the summer months, it's the perfect package in my books. So guys, I thought I'd pull over and end the video here. I'm letting the car tick cool for a bit after the good B-Road bash we just had. Honestly, one of the best cars, lightweight, convertible, turbocharged B-Road basher I've ever stepped my foot in. If you want to turbocharge an MX-5, do it like this one, because it is unreal. So as the sun is going down, I'd love to thank you all for watching. Make sure you like, share and subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you all on the next video. Cheers guys.